Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session. My name is Shalini Singh. I'm joining you from London, England. And for today's program, I would first remind you to have your foot soak ready. You will see the slide. If you're here for the very first time and you've not done it before, you can observe and we can explain to you how it is done. It is very helpful. Yes. I think the IT is still trying to share the slide. Thank you. Thank you, Nilesh. So this is just a reminder. So for today's session, once you have your foot soak ready, I would just like to make a few announcements. Can you move to the next slide? Right. So today we will have the opportunity after the session to go into the breakout room. In the breakout room, we have experienced meditators who can speak to you, who can answer your questions. And I think that is how I had progressed in Sahaja Yoga. So I would highly recommend you to join the breakout room. You can also access the recordings and all the materials on the website, all the 21-day program, the handouts and the music. Also, the course material. And I would also say that if you have a meeting close by, meet in person. It always is very helpful and much more powerful, even though we are trying our best on Zoom and online, which also works because the energy is within us. So at the end, you can join the breakout room. But today's session, we will be focusing on the Kundalini energy within us. It's a very interesting topic. Me, I'm a medic, and it was a bit very skeptical in the beginning, and it was a bit hard to believe what is the motherly energy. In the last session, if you have been joining us, last Sunday we had a session on self-realization and the transforming energy within us, which was very well aligned with the Easter and the second birth. And today, as I mentioned, we will talk about the Kundalini energy within. So for today's session, we will have just the overarching program. We will have two presenters who will take you into deep meditation, and we will also have Shri Mataji's talk in between. We're also very fortunate to have Dr. Adam, who is joining us from Leeds, and he is going to play live sitar for us. It's amazing when you meditate on live music and you will experience this for yourself. Then just trying to recall after the presentations, and we will also have the chance to have question and answers. So if you have a question, you can write to me directly, or you can write on the chat. You will have this you see below. Anyone can write a question, and of course after the question answer session, you can join the breakout room for a deeper experience. With that, enough of talking. I would like to start the session by inviting all the presenters on board.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, Marie. Hi, Adam.
Hi all, good evening.
Good evening. Would you like to give a short introduction? Adam, maybe you can start.
Hi, my name's Adam Morgan. I am in the UK, and I'm joining you this evening to, as Shani said, play some sitar for you. So sitar is a pretty well-known instrument from India and has a long tradition of being used to play Indian classical music, which very briefly, I'll just say it's very relevant to meditation because Indian classical music has the same kind of culture, the same aims as meditation, which is to take us to this place between our thoughts, to take us into this sort of inner silence that we can find, which is also what the Kundalini does as well. So there's a kind of a joint enterprise there, you could say. So yeah, I'll play some sitar later for the meditation.
Thank you, Adam. We are fortunate to have you on board. Thank you for coming. Yes, Marie?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Mary from France, and I've been meditating for a while now since I was born, and I'll be guiding you through the second meditation. Hopefully, you also feel the power of the Kundalini.
How beautiful. Thank you, Marie. And Kestusis?
Hi all, my name's Kestutis, currently residing in Berlin, Germany. I've been meditating for some time as well, in Sahaja Yoga only. And today I will guide you into the very first meditation and give a brief introduction to Sahaja Yoga.
Great. So thank you, everyone. And now we can begin by I hand over to Kestusis with the first leading meditation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shalini. I'm conscious that there might be people joining for the first time, so it's always a good idea to start with a brief introduction and an overview of Sahaja Yoga. So can I please ask the AT team to share this? Excellent. So what you see on the screen right now is the map of our subtle system that essentially resides within our physical body. And this is nothing new, and it's not unique to Sahaja Yoga meditation per se. This knowledge is Vedic, it's ancient knowledge, and it has been described in great detail in the ancient scriptures such as the Upanishads or the Vedas or the Dhammapada in the Buddhist tradition for that matter. But today's topic is Kundalini, the motherly energy that's stored within our sacrum bone in this upside down triangle that you can see in the chart between number 1 and number 2. And the name of this bone is derived from the ancient Greek word sacred, sacrum, which essentially implies that the ancient Greeks already knew about this motherly energy and they shared this knowledge. They described it, they might have even felt it. And essentially what happens through Sahaja Yoga meditation techniques, by the grace of our pure desire, we're able to awaken this motherly energy. And once that happens, this energy rises up, vertically upwards along our spinal cord, piercing each and every chakra on its path, up to the very top where you can see number 7, the Sahasrara chakra, which is located on the top of our head where the fontanel bone area is. And once it pierces the Sahasrara chakra, we may experience a very profound state of silence and deep meditation, and we can even feel it on our physical body. So we can feel it as a cool breeze. It might be warm if you're experiencing this for the first time, but at any rate, there is this physical manifestation of our motherly energy nourishing our subtle system. And this motherly energy, it would never go against our will. It is so gentle, so subtle. Its only purpose is to nourish us and to clear our subtle system, to clear any so-called blockages that there might be, that we might have accumulated in our lives. So that's essentially the topic for tonight. We will talk a little bit more about this energy, and essentially we will listen to the talk of an excerpt rather of Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of Sahaja Yoga meditation technique. And Shri Mataji, she founded Sahaja Yoga in 1970. So that's when she opened up the very last energy center, the Sahasrara center, en masse, and that's where this en masse collective realization took place. So it's really a historic moment in spirituality. So the way we're going to take this forward is we will start with a meditation. Shalini mentioned in the beginning that we will go for a foot soak, which essentially is the exercise of dipping our feet in a bucket of water, salted water, I should say, which represents the ocean or the sea. And the idea here is to clear our subtle system. And after the foot soak, we will rinse and cleanse our feet. But don't worry if you don't have the foot soak bucket ready. You can perfectly follow this guided meditation without it. Absolutely no problem. And just a few things to reiterate. In meditation and while listening to Shri Mataji's speech, we're going to have our palms facing upwards on our lap. And usually we'll have our eyes closed. Well, during Shri Mataji's speech, we'll have our eyes open. Just before we begin and end every meditation, what we do in Sahaja Yoga, we raise our motherly Kundalini 3 times, just like that. So we take our left hand and we start at the very base of our spine. And with our right hand, we just go around it like that until we reach the top of our head. And once we do that, we make 1 knot. And we do this 3 times, so we can do it all together. So the second time we'll make 2 knots. And the third time we'll make 3 knots above our head. And these knots, they symbolize the 3 energy columns or channels that are stored within our subtle system. And the second thing that we do, we take the protection, the so-called bandhan, against anything that surrounds us. So this is done basically to make sure that we protect our subtle system while we meditate, that we don't absorb any negativities or any unwanted energies that are all around us wherever we are. So the way we do it, essentially we take our left hand, we keep it on our lap, and starting with our right hand, we form an arch. So we do it back and forth as once, and we do it 7 times, once for every energy center, for every chakra in our subtle system. So we perform this exercise 7 times, just like that. I hope it's visible. The left hand is supposed to be on my lap. And we can dip our feet in the foot soak tub. We can sit comfortably. Let's make sure that our back is straight, but there is no strain. Our face is fully relaxed, our shoulders, our arms, our palms are facing upwards on our lap. We can close our eyes. We can take a few moments to slowly breathe in, hold our breath in, and exhale. And as we exhale, we can observe our breathing slow down. We can take both of our hands and put them towards the foot soak tub. If you're sitting on the ground, or if you don't have a foot soak ready, you can simply put your hands towards or on the ground itself. That's perfectly fine. Mother Earth has an equally powerful clearing effect on our subtle system. And here we can simply ask, Mother Kundalini, please purify my subtle system. Please remove all heaviness, all weariness, stress, tension, anything and everything that keeps me out of balance. Please take it all away. Mother Kundalini, please cleanse my subtle system. We can bring our hands back to our lap. We can take our right hand and we can place it on our navel area, on our stomach, right in the middle. And here we can simply ask, Mother Kundalini, please bring me peace. Please bestow the feeling of satisfaction within me. We can bring our hand up on our chest. And here we can simply ask, Mother Kundalini, please remove all fear and insecurity from my being. We can place our hand across our forehead. We can let our head rest slightly in our palm. And here we can simply say, Mother Kundalini, I forgive. Forgive my thoughts, deeds, misdeeds. And I forgive everyone for everything. I forgive. Place our hand on our fontanelle bone area where the Sahasrara chakra is, and very gently, with care and attention, we can simply massage this area in a clockwise manner, our scalp being the clock, so left, forward, right, and like so, we can repeat this movement 7 times. And while doing it, we can simply ask, Mother Kundalini, please grant me self-realization and integration so that I can truly know myself. So that I can truly feel you, Kundalini, within myself. We can bring our hands slightly upwards, not too high, not too low, could be 5 to 10 centimeters. We can simply observe if we feel any sensations whatsoever. Could be cold, warm, doesn't really matter. We're just observing at this point and witnessing. We can bring our hand back to our lap and just for 1 more minute, we can just remain in silence. And if we are still having thoughts, or if our mind is running free, we can open our eyes and simply look at the flame. If we have a candle in front of us, if we don't, we can look at the red dot on Shri Mataji's forehead. Have a photograph of Shri Mataji displayed on the screen, so you can simply just do that and just watch it without thinking, that red dot, and see what effect it has on your mind, on your thoughts, how they relent, how they slow down and drop off one by one. If we are ready, we can bring our hands together and slightly bow to this motherly energy within us, Mother Kundalini, the all-purifying energy. And we can express gratitude for this meditative state that she has bestowed upon us. Once again, we can raise our Kundalini and take 7 bandhans. And once we have emptied our foot soak tubs, we will have a speech of Shri Mataji where she will talk a little bit more about this motherly energy Kundalini. So once again, it is good to keep your palms facing upwards on your lap during this speech and to simply watch with eyes open if you like. Thank you.
Self-realization is self-knowledge. And the one who gives you self-knowledge is this your own Kundalini. Because when she rises, she points it out what are the problems on your chakras. Now, we say that it is pure desire. But we do not know what purity means. It means your chaste desire. It means it has no lust, greed, anything in it. That power is your own mother and is settled in your triangular bone. She is your own mother. She knows everything about you. It's like a tape recorder. She knows everything about you. And she is absolutely the knowledge. Because she's so pure. And whatever chakras she touches, she also knows what's wrong with that chakra beforehand. So she is quite prepared. And she adjusts herself fully so that you do not get a problem by her awakening. If any chakra is constricted, she waits and goes on slowly, opening that chakra. Now this Kundalini is the primordial power which is reflected within you. And within you, in a human being, it is like many strands of energy. So it's like a rope. And these energies are all twisted together to form this Kundalini. In a human being, these strands are 3 into 7, that is 21, raised to power 108. But when your Kundalini rises, 1 or 2 strands out of this come up and pierce the fontanelle bone area. Only 1 or 2. Because it has to pass through the innermost nadi, known as Brahma Nadi. It's all a spiral throughout, because Kundalini is a spiral, and these nadis are also like a spiral, like this. So the innermost nadi is the Brahma nadi. The outermost nadi is the right side. And the second innermost is the Ida nadi. So through the Brahma nadi, she starts sending those threads. By that, they relax the center. By the relaxation of the center, the sympathetic nervous system also starts relaxing. And when it goes to the Agya Chakra, then your eyes start relaxing, your pupils start dilating, and your eyes can become like mine, very black, absolutely relaxed. So you can easily see in a person how far is the Kundalini. If it has pierced the Agya, then the eyes will be completely dilated and will be shiny. And then she enters into the Sahasrara. Now it is absolutely pure light of knowledge, love, compassion, and attention. All these three things are in that energy. We know of many energies like electrical energy, we know of light energy, we know of other energies. But these energies cannot think, they cannot adjust, they cannot work on their own. They are to be handled by us. But this energy itself is the living energy and knows how to handle itself. It thinks. If you see a seed being sprouted, you'll find at the tip of the seed there's a small little cell which knows how to go around the soft places and then how to encircle the stones and then how to find its way to the source. That cell has got, I would say, a little Kundalini in it, the way it moves. But within you is a tremendous force of Kundalini exists. So you have a storehouse of compassion which can be enlightened by the Spirit. You have the storehouse of love, compassion, and knowledge, and ocean of forgiveness. When people get realization, they do not understand that they have to now grow. And why they don't grow? Because they do not ask for these energies. A person who is a realized soul, if he says that I have to have more compassion, my compassion is not all right. My concern about others is not all right. My generosity is not all right. I'm exploiting others. I'm exploiting their love. Then this energy starts moving, giving you that greater dimension of love and compassion. But if you do not want to be growing in your awareness, then she says, all right, he is a half-baked Sahaja Yogi, let it be. She doesn't supply that energy which is stored within you. I told you, 3 into 7, that is 21 raised to power 108. So what a storage you have within yourself. But because of your mundane style of thinking and asking, in the beginning when I started Sahaja Yoga, people used to ask for, say, jobs, or for my mother is sick or a father is sick, or they would ask for money or something like that. So these wants are not pure wants. As we know in economics, they are not pure wants. They are impure wants because they are never satiable in general. So this Kundalini, that is your mother, she is there to supply you, nourish you, to look after you, to make you grow. By giving you a higher personality.
So we can close our eyes again and just meditate a while. So bring our attention to the top of the head and see if you can rest it there. And notice if you can do that without thinking. So the Kundalini has the capacity to draw our attention up to this Sahasrara, to the top of the head. And she reduces our thinking, or another way to understand it, she makes this gap between our thoughts bigger, so we can rest our attention there. So we'll just sit for a few moments in silence, focusing our attention, and then I will play a little bit of music, a bit of sitar to meditate to.
Thank you, Adam, for this beautiful meditative music. We can continue into a short, silent meditation. We can put our back straight, our palms open on our knees, and try to silence our mind. To stay thoughtless as much as possible. We can put our attention at the base of our spine, where our Kundalini lies, this motherly energy within us. So we can put our attention where our sacrum bone is. And when we give her the space, this motherly energy within us starts rising up through our spine, through our different centers. And by doing so, she nourishes them and brings them the attention they need to balance us, to make all our centers be in harmony. So with our right hand, we can support her in her ascent. We can bring our right hand in front of our sacrum bone, the basis of our spine, our palm upwards, and our hand slightly bent. And we can do as if we pick up our Kundalini at the base of our spine, and slowly, slowly we can rise our hand, inviting her to rise through all our different centers along our spine. By doing so, we can bring our attention to what we feel as we help her rise through our spine and up until the top of our head, where our Kundalini can pierce. We can do this movement as many times as we want during this meditation. And guiding our Kundalini through all our centers. So this energy within us is very subtle, very gentle in her work in us. But effortlessly, she will take away all the tensions, all the obstacles on her way. Each time you rise your Kundalini, more and more strands get enlightened with her power. And feel more and more this link, this subtle link and connection with her. So now we can keep our attention on the top of our head. We can also put a slight pressure with our right hand on the top of our head. And this energy has the power to bring us into meditation, into silence. So here we can ask Mother Energy or Mother Kundalini, please bring me into thoughtless awareness. Please bring me to silence. Please allow me to experience the silence within, the true silence within. We can slowly, slowly massage the top of our head and gently lift our hand above our head a few centimeters and just observe what we feel. In the space between the top of our head and our hand. Can rise up a little bit our hand, a little bit higher, and go back down, go right and left. And bring back down our hand, but keeping our attention in the space above our head. We can also do the same thing with our left hand. Bring it up above our head rise it up and lower it if needed. Just observe the sensations. And bring it back down. So again, we can keep our attention on the top of our head. Just enjoy the silence. We can also put our attention in the palm of our hands. So this energy is very subtle, but her manifestation can be sometimes felt by either a cool breeze or a warm breeze above our head or on our hands. And the more and more you meditate, the more you become sensitive to her manifestations. The easier you feel the cool breeze above your head or in your hands. So to finish this meditation, we can raise our Kundalini like we did in the beginning of this session. So with the left hand, we raise our Kundalini, and with the right hand, we turn around, allowing her to rise up through all our centers. And above our head, we can tie a knot, asking humbly for this motherly energy to stay up for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. We can do this a second time. This time we do 2 knots. And rise a third time. And tie 3 knots above our head. Now we can do protective bandhans 7 times back and forth for each energy center. Thank you for joining this meditation.
Thank you, Maria. So, thank you, everyone. This is what a beautiful evening. I mean, in a deep state of meditation, not sure what to speak. So, I hope you all enjoyed the session. And now, just a few announcements again. Thank you, Nilesh. So last Sunday, as I mentioned, we had the session on the we had a session on the self-realization, and this coming Sunday we will talk about the first chakra and go deeper on the qualities of Muladhara, the power of innocence, and all the how to remove the obstacles from our chakras through strengthening the Muladhara chakra. The next slide. As you know, many of you are here new, perhaps, and many of you have been attending the 21 sessions. So just to make you aware that every Wednesday and Sunday at the same time, we have the follow-up sessions like we have today. It's at the same time, always, and the same Zoom link. Nothing different for the sessions. So as I mentioned earlier, if you need a mentor, which is of a great help in responding to a question, sometimes you feel down and you want to meditate with somebody, you can have a mentor who can also answer your questions. You can also join our community, the WhatsApp group. You know, there's a reminders, there are some messages, and you can also find a meditator there. Then all the recorded sessions, links, handouts, music, all that has been taught so far can be also accessed on the link, freemeditation.com. You can also use the barcode. And as you see, all the sessions are recorded for every day. You can go on the website, access the one that you need, or access the one. You can follow the course also again. Yeah, thank you. And we are now coming almost to an end. So there's a chat. You can see the name, which is called Breakout Room Help. In case you would like to be in a breakout room and you have a question, you can write directly to the teacher and you will get to the right breakout room based on your language or your country. Then also, you can also write, we are going to have a question and answer session. You can write directly on the chat. My name is Shalini. You can also write directly to me for any question you might have. So now I would invite the presenters to come and be on the room. We will have a question answer session. And if you have any question, as I mentioned, please write it on the chat. I do have few questions that came on this topic, but you're welcome to write more questions. Thank you. And let's have all the presenters now. Thank you, Adam. First of all, you know, it was such a deep thank you, Kestus, and thank you, Kuna, for coming. Marie is not here, but after my long day of work, it was beautiful, such a deep state of meditation. I really am thankful to all of you. I'm sure our new seekers who are joining the session are also very delighted with this deep state of meditation. And what an interesting topic, like Kundalini awakening. I'm sure Hans and most of us have been meditating for a long time. And let me start with, 31 years ago when I got my realization. Absolutely, I had not heard about Kundalini. I freaked out as a physician. Uh, I just finished my medicine and I didn't want to believe and I didn't want to, really that there could be an energy that I did not see while opening the body and so on. But I did not feel also anything like for many days. But then Shri Mataji came to one of the programs and I felt my energy moving up like a mercury. And I had such a desire to go deep that day and today it's been an amazing journey, amazing. Such a gift to mankind to awaken and experience your energy without giving anything, without going to Himalayas. And ordinary, we are all ordinary people with our own ups and downs, challenges in life. But just to have that gravity and strength is just amazing. I'm so very actually thankful to be on the session on this topic, and experience that thoughtlessness through you all. So for this session, there are a few, let me see if we have some questions on the, right. So I have some questions on the chat. Let me just go. The ladies not really do when we are asleep. So, right. So one of the questions that I would read here is, and a very basic question that anybody might would have, that how do you experience the presence of Kundalini energy within you? Did you feel straight away? Like, I had not felt straight away. But how do you actually, what do you actually experience? Any one of you who wish to take this question?
I can say something.
Yes.
So for me, like usually in the beginning, I didn't really feel much on my hands, and if I'm honest, I wasn't really interested. I was seeking, what I was seeking, so I guess enlightenment, being free from all the stuff in my mind, and so I didn't feel it in the beginning, but I did start to feel things on my hands after a while, and then I feel, and still to this day can feel, tingling and Kundalini coming out the top of the head, and that draws my attention into meditation. So it was quite, I guess, slow in the beginning, and it just unfolded over time, and it became more and more clear and obvious over time. But it wasn't quick at all, I'd say. It was a slow unfolding over many years, actually.
Right, right. What a beautiful answer. Yeah, so true. Then, do you always feel the same, or it's been like many years for you? Do you feel the presence of Kundalini different times, or does it change when you are feeling a bit of left side or you're overworked? How does it manifest?
I guess when it's there and it's obvious, it's pretty similar. So I feel it on the top of my head really clearly and strongly. And that is what guides me into meditation. Obviously, there are days when that it isn't there so much, and when you sit down to meditate and that doesn't happen spontaneously, but I've kind of, over time, I've learned that a lot of it, for me anyway, is about patience. So if I sit to meditate, I just have to wait a while often, and then it starts to work out. I don't understand how that happens exactly. I don't experience how it's working out, but what happens is it works out, and then I find I can sit and my attention's drawn up here, and I have this silence within. So I don't know if that's a very
I can
detailed.
relate with that. Yes. Right. So, any addition to this? So, maybe I can ask another question. I have a list here, sorry, on the left. If somebody is feeling isolated, lonely one evening or a few days, and the energy is awakened, how can how the Kundalini energy helps in such a situation? Hans, would you like to take this question?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. First, I'd just like to link to Adam's point, where he said he would just wait and then it happens. That's how I started with Sahaja Yoga, right? Because I didn't have a 21 days online session. Nobody really told me much. All I had is Shri Mataji's picture, and that's it. So I just, put it somewhere, sat in front of it, and waited for it to happen. And after some time, it started working. And then you start discovering things, and you start, oh my God, this happens and that happens. And then you start relating to the Kundalini because it gives so much. And it's kind of a path of discovery. And what I take away from that time is really, if you think of how do you meditate, there are many ways, and we have this 21 days to learn all those things. But I think the key is really the desire. So if you want the joy that the Kundalini can give you, it'll give it to you. And if you ask for a certain quality, for peace, it'll give it to you. And maybe even that links to the question, right? If you feel isolated, now Sahaja Yoga is not a therapy, it's not a medicine, right? But it is something about self-knowledge. So what the Kundalini essentially wants to do is show you what your true self is. And your true self is something extremely blissful, extremely aware. And I think the first step is really you start feeling very comfortable with yourself. And once you start feeling comfortable with yourself, it's easier to relate to other people. And once we get to the Vishuddhi chakra, where we talk about collectivity, of course, we'll see more about that. But I think really the essence would be, if there's a few things, we should understand about Sahaja Yoga. It's Kundalini, self, the spirit, and the Param Chaitanya. And those things, work together to elevate us and make us benevolent.
Great.
With
So nice.
endless compassion.
Yeah, so true. Thank you so much. Yes, I think we all relate to your response in this journey, Yeah, this has been such a support, what you mentioned about this awakening. I have just one last question, because I guess we have to close the session as instructed. So my question is, how do you know, and this question is for Kestutis or Kes, how do you know, Kes, when your Kundalini is flowing like really strongly compared to, not much?
So personally, I just feel it in my state and my being. For instance, right now, it's flowing quite strongly. It's just the state of mind that I'm in. So it's just really, I guess it's very individual, but for me, it's very clear. And personally, when the experience is the strongest is when I meditate collectively. For instance, even if it's online, it's usually much stronger for me than if I was to meditate by myself at home, say. And this state is usually just what Hans described just now, just being fully aware of your surroundings, being fully aware of your inner being, and just kind of witnessing, seeing everything for what it is in the moment, and not having any thoughts about the future or the past. It does not necessarily always very strongly manifest on a physical level, but it's more about the internal state that Kundalini bestows upon me.
So nice. So beautiful. Thank you. Yes, so true. Yeah, and I wish, most of us maybe in the beginning had some doubts or some questions, but once we start meditating persistently, regularly, have the desire, as Hans mentioned, we feel the state, like Adam said, you just feel it here. And as you mentioned, Kestutis, that you just feel different. So yeah, so maybe last question, one more question. That once Kundalini is fully awakened, does it, the byproducts that we are seeking in life, like we are seeking for physical health, mental health, emotional health, good friendship, partnership, kids, or bank balance, better job, promotion, and so on. I was told when I came to Sahaja Yoga he's a very good friend of mine now. And I was like, what am I seeking? What does it do, like this awakening? And he said, you're only here for your spiritual health. So if you drop, even in an experiment phase, drop your desires, don't give attention to them, but seek, as I think we mentioned, most of us have the strong desire to be connected to your Kundalini, be one with the energy. So, and that it manifests. So my question is, any one of you can take it. Did you feel the transformation as more and more strands of Kundalini starts rising and you feel stronger? not only when you're meditating, but even when you're not meditating, you are working, your attention is like somewhere else, but you still feel the connection. How do you see the manifestation or the transformation in your being?
I'll start talking, but maybe somebody wants to add.
Yeah, we have like
so the-
2 minutes. Yes, 1 or 2 minutes.
I mean, if we understand what the Kundalini is and the Param Chaitanya is, right? The Kundalini is the life force within us, and the Param Chaitanya is the life force around us. So the Kundalini brings us into a state of connection and self-knowledge, but then it connects us. When we feel the cool breeze above our head, then we're connected to that Param Chaitanya around us, which is the life force that looks after us. It's the same force that opens the flowers in the morning, that makes the birds sing in the morning, that tells the baby when to come out, those kind of things. I have 3 kids, so I saw that 3 times, and that's a life force. I think what happens, you get trust in that life force. Once the Kundalini keeps showing you, you can always be in joy, you can always be balanced, and you can act in the outside world in that state as well. And the more trust you gain in that, the more this life force guides you through life, and you kind of get a trust in yourself, but also a trust in life. I don't think it works to expect, if I meditate deeply, I'm going to be successful. That's not really going to work. You have to have this desire to be the spirit, to be yourself, to be benevolent in yourself first, and then everything else kind of sorts out in the way that's best for you.
Yeah, I guess I would say in terms of like unexpected side effects, if that's a weird way of putting it, but
Yeah, surprises, yeah.
for me, I mean, one of them's been in music. I'm not a musician. I wasn't a musician at all. My job is I'm a psychologist, and I developed a feeling for music through meditating, and a very strong desire to play music and to enter that sort of space that music can take you into. And that was not remotely in my mind to do that at all. It just happened. So that's been a unexpected, a wonderful thing. I mean, I feel so lucky to have had the chance to learn a bit about Indian music and to do whatever my limited capacity that I have with it to be able to do that and play that. So that was completely unexpected.
But, I mean, it didn't sound very limited today, right? It was quite amazing.
Exactly. And Kes, anything to add as a last note to this reflection of Kundalini in you, or anything you want to share?
So for me, what Kundalini did for me, what was kind of the most surprising, and what I keep witnessing in day-to-day life, is the spontaneity aspect of it. Things just work out, be it at work, be it while exercising, be it anywhere really. Things just happen in ways that you would never think of or expect, and it's just pure magic once you start witnessing those little instances of coincidence, if I can call them like that. It just becomes like a fairy tale. It's difficult to put into words. You really have to live it to understand it, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes, so beautifully said. There is a realm, there is a frequency we get into which we, our limited mind, don't even understand. And I would say the same thing. Yes, it's beyond a very normal human imagination, and that we get into, and we get surprises all the time, beautiful surprises. Great. With that, I think I would have to now end the question answer session. So very nice to have you on board. Thank you for attending the session and for this beautiful music. Hans for joining us for Q&A, and for Kes for the beautiful meditation, and to Marie. With that, I just have a few announcements, and then I think we close the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening, all
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Have a good evening and rest of your week. We'll see you on Sunday. Thank you.